We are live with Brent Musburger. As I pick my ear. Anyway, the Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. Sign up today. Bet $100. Get $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com. /WYNNBET. State restrictions apply. With that, play the music. Go. Or we already did. In recording. Welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs. I laugh as I hear myself breathing into the microphone like fucking Tony Soprano. With these headphones on. Anyway, welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs. I'm CJ Sullivan, your host, giving out 5 picks each week, picks with bits for the NFL Circuit Contest. This is week 18, the last regular season week of the season. Yeah. Contest is over after this week. And as you know, if you've been listening along, we're not going to win. We're not going to win. We're not going to come into money. We're certainly not going to win the top prize. We're not going to even win the bottom prize for the booby prize for the worst records. That's even tougher than the one. They're all tough. We're not going to win a quarterly. We thought we had a chance at that. We're not even going to win a quarterly bomb, but we're going to keep bombing away because they're picks with bits. Oh man. We're going to be here through the playoffs, giving more bottom line bombs. So welcome anyone who, just welcome you here. If you're watching live on YouTube here Thursday, welcome. Go ahead and comment. Come on in, be a part of the show. If you're just listening, then too late. You just have to listen to what I have to say. Yeah, like I said, we're not going to win. But this last week, we're going to go out with a glow. I kind of like week 18. Very unpredictable because you don't know who gives a shit, who doesn't, who's playing, who's not playing. So you have to get into the mentality of motivation. You have to understand which coaches are idiots. Which are liars. My favorite week, actually. I think I feel like we're going to do a very good week 18 because when they don't care, I don't care, and that's when we all share. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. Yeah, like last week, we had some wins, some losses. Just hanging around 500. It's tough. Patriot loss was tough. I thought we laid 2.5 versus Miami, and Patriots let Miami backdoor cover. They had the game in hand, and then Miami scored in the last second just to lose by 2. Why not? Belichick, they're up. What were they up? 9, obviously. Yeah, they're up 9. They're driving with like 3 minutes to go, and they had a 4th and 4 from the 25, and he goes for it. Why? And then they get a sack for 10 yards. Not even whatever. Hand it off and let them drive further. They broke it to midfield and whatever. That happens. But like I said, that's what happens with Belichick. They do dumb things. Although they got the win. They can win and they're in. They play the Bills this week. And of course, we must talk about if we're going to recap the Damar Hamlin situation, which was a horrible, obviously, last Monday Night Football between the Bengals and the Bills when he had a heart issue. Went down like Hank Gathers. That's what reminded me of Hank Gathers. We can talk about a few things about that. The NFL has now just canceled the game just before I got on the air. The Bills-Bengals game. First, they suspended it. Initially, they wanted him to play on. They gave him 5 minutes after they watched a guy have a heart attack. All right, you guys good? We'll give you 5 minutes. Stretch you out. Keep loose, erase that memory from your face, and then get out there. They, of course, denied it when that leaked out because people hate the NFL anyway. The way they always handle things horribly. But I'm not too hard on the NFL with that because it's a live situation. It's unprecedented. What I do think is funny is how they can't admit they were wrong. They said we never did that. We never said the 5 minutes. We were always Joe Buck made that up. Really? You think Joe Buck made that up? Why would he make that up? He's just winging it out there. No, he's getting information from you. You guys control the fucking TV rights and the media. It's all one big propaganda machine for you guys. Yeah, Buck made that up. So people go nuts on the NFL. They want them to play. The coaches and play, and they did. The coaches and players had to stop. Like, yeah, no, we're not doing this. We're not playing. But like I said, they just can't admit you're wrong anymore. It reminds me of like when like that George Bush 9/11 video when he was talking to kindergarten teachers when someone broke the news of 9/11 happening to him. And the reaction to that, I think it was like a Michael Moore movie. Like, he sat there for 28 seconds or 14 seconds and did nothing. What was he going to do? Yeah, okay, relax. You're fucking jumping how he's handling this fucking World War situation going on. I mean, he should have jumped up and stopped the. What did you want him to stop it? Call the game. It didn't help. I will say it didn't help when then they go to the booth and the studio, whatever. And you have Adam Schefter up there. The worst person you want to hear from is Adam Schefter, who's a stooge for the NFL. And he's reporting it like it is, like it was more serious than 9/11 for the NFL standpoint. Like it's going to the higher ups on Park Avenue, to the highest authority, and they're writing the situations. What? What are you reporting about, dude? Just fucking call it a game. And then they had to fill the airtime. Booger and Susie and Shefty. And listen, I'm not making fun of these guys. I mean, it was an impossible situation, obviously, to do broadcast TV. But that's what I mean. Why put them in that impossible situation? You're going to hear Booger McFarland, pretty much crying over this, and it's understandable. But like, why do I have to watch? Act like it's a rain delay or something. Go put on some Three Stooges clips. Like baseball, yeah. Put some fucking black and white TV on there. We're currently in a medical delay. Shifting. So then Twitter gets, of course, Twitter's a whole new thing now with this. You see what was trending that night. Call the game. Call the game. What is this? Call the game. Cancel football. There's a lot of cancel footballs. I saw people tweeting. I don't even know what happened, but cancel football. I just know other people are upset, so I'm upset. Cancel it. So then anytime you get a situation like this, you have people throwing out the thoughts and prayers, which I do love when people just tag that on there. Thoughts and prayers, of course. Of course, first thought to Damar Hamlin. Anyway. But then they look out, and then they search for other people who are tweeting bad about it, who misstep with their tweets. And they love attacking them. This is not the time. Now's the time for thoughts and prayers. Okay, well, what are you doing with your time? You're looking for. You're not thought. You're praying someone else has a bad tweet. That's your thoughts and prayers. Which, by the way, I love how now these thoughts and prayers. Now they're all for thoughts and prayers. Anytime there's a gun shooting, and Republican lawmakers say thoughts and prayers, which does mean nothing, by the way. Thoughts and prayers. And you yell at them for that. That means nothing. Pass some laws. And now they do it for this. Dad, you should be thoughts and prayers. Now you do. Now you do believe in thoughts and prayers? I don't. Whatever. Do your thoughts and prayers. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not mocking it. Don't yell at people that's what they should have to be doing. Thoughts and prayers. Today is proof that it works. H. Steele says evidence that prayers work. Yes, Kyle Bolin said, did I say the game is officially canceled? Thanks for coming to the Bottom Line Bomb for your breaking NFL news, Kyle Bolin. Yes, it just came out. I don't know if it's official yet, but it's about to come out that they are not going to play the Bills and Bengals game whatsoever. Which we'll get to that. That was weird how they did that. Not weird how they did that. Which is funny. We didn't know how it was going to be. Which, ironically, speaking of tweets, the Skip Bayless tweet, everyone got upset about that, which I get it. Everyone hates Skip Bayless. I understand that. But if you look at his tweet was something like how, he asked logistic questions of how they're going to reschedule the game, which everyone has been asking ever since. But because it's from him, we're like, fuck you. Why aren't you praying, Skip? You're the worst human being in the world, which he might be. It's like Elon Musk. People just hate Elon Musk. He's the only CEO. You're fired all these people on Twitter. Yeah, every company's firing people. Amazon, Lyft, all these people are firing people. But but we hate Elon. Christ, do people hate Elon Musk? It's hilarious. I mean, listen. I'm not defending them. They're hateable people, but I saw an article. There's a Tesla went off a cliff in California yesterday or 2 days ago. The headline: Tesla drives off the cliff in California. Family of 4 dies. Then you look into it. Then you read the article. It's called like Devil's Slide, this road. The father drove it off intentionally and murdered people. The auto drive thing wasn't even on. They're like, oh, yeah, by the way, the guy might have done it on purpose. Okay, well, maybe put that in the headline. Not Tesla drives off a cliff. But it is Elon Musk. Whatever. So now we're canceling Skip. Like I said with Skip Bayless before, you know what he is. He's a troll that tries. But I don't get why Skip Bayless gets all the hate and Stephen A. Smith gets a pass. When Skip Bayless taught Stephen A. Smith, they're brothers from another mother, as they say openly. But you give Stephen, I don't know. It's just bizarre. Like, how are you disconfused by what Skip Bayless does at this point? How does he have an audience? What do you mean, how does he have an audience? How does Stephen A. Smith have an audience? Because it does. It's a fucking debate show. It's bull. He says shit for you to hate. Then he does this thing with Shannon Sharp, too. You want to see what he does next. They're going to hate each other. You want to see Shannon Sharp kill? Shannon Sharp has to beat the shit out of him live TV. That'll be amazing. Amazing television. I'm all for it. Listen, like I said, I'm not defending these guys. They're horrible. They made their bed. They also made millions of dollars. The old saying, when the lowest common denominator is your audience, you will never go broke. And, they're scumbags. They don't believe anything they say. But I don't think his tweet was that bad. But people just don't want to hear it. Whatever. I love people even like everyone just said, this is the time for thoughts and prayers. And when gamblers would come in there and I'm speaking as a man who had a first half Cincinnati Bengal bet. Like that's the gambling equivalent. Like, and I have a daughter, so I have a daughter. I had a ticket for first half Cincinnati Bengals. Eric Turman in the box says thoughts or prayers. Yeah, choose one or the other. I agree. You can't have thoughts and prayers because one they're definitely exclusive from each other. Because if you think about it, well, then you realize prayers are silly. Thoughts and prayers are opposites. They're not. I'm just messing around here in the box. Yeah. So they searched for tweets. So there it was. Vaccine. I do love. I love the vaccine pushback too. That was fun. No matter any story, there was like because people say, listen, obviously. Damar Hamlin's heart exploded from a hit to the chest. It was this rare thing. So now the anti-vaxxers want to claim that the vaccine is making athletes' hearts explode. They can't let any news story go by conspiracy theorists without jumping in with their fucking bullshit. I do give them that. They're like Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless always does a contrarian tweet because it's his reaction. My buddy Sean Flannery says that. He says that's just his natural fucking like reflex, So they got to throw the conspiracy in there. Oh, player got hurt. Vaccine. Must have got the vax. Did the Pope die? Yeah, he probably got the vax at 95. Killed the Pope. I'll get to the Pope's death later. Just kidding. I won't. What are we doing? Oh man, I've been going off. Well, that's what it was because all my thoughts and prayers were with Damar Hamlin, and we'll get into that in a second. So let me get into, like I said, we have 5 new bottom line bombs for week 18. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. In the comments, in the box, and I will have a man in the box segment after the 5 picks. Let's get into it since I've been wasting a lot of time already. First, let me tell you about WynnBET, the official online sports book at the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Live betting, same game parlays. I got reduced juice on sides and totals for all bowl games day of. There's only one more bowl game left, but actually there's that in the championship game too. Great promos, odds, payouts are happening right now. WinBet, ready to play. Sign up today. Receive a special offer. Bet $100, win $100. Limited state availability. So much to choose from. All you have to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. So they know we sent you. I just switched over from the box to the wide view. I just realized I was in the box. You didn't have to hear that if you're listening on audio. So it's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WINNBET. Claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where to play through WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, and you do, you are listening to the Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Your thoughts and prayers are with gambling. You have a gambling problem. But, like I said, it's a new year. Let's not fix all the problems in our lives. All right? Let's work on, cutting out carbs or something first. But if you want to report someone else, call 1-800-522-4700. Very important. Anyway, we brought to you also by Underdog Fantasy. At Underdog, the season never ends. Right now, you can play their weekly Battle Royale games or even draft your playoff best ball team. They have a ton of daily games for NBA and NHL. Plus, when you use promo code SGPN at UnderdogFantasy.com, you get a 100% deposit match up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. All right. And that's it. We are back. Thank you, guys. And let's get right into the first game of the Bottom Line Bombs. We were in the wide angle with the logo and the helmet and the whole studio and everything. The Bottom Line Bombs logo there. CJ Sullivan's made and created by the great Kyle Boland, who is in the comments today. Thank you once again, Mr. Blue Steel, part of the fan, and Eric Turman, also part of the Fantasy Football League. Who, we have a lot to settle out. I won't get into the Fantasy League talk, but with that Bills Bengals game being probably canceled, there's a lot to sort out. A lot of percentages, a lot of shoppings, a lot of things, a lot of unfair things. Things are going to be unfair, like life. The NFL doesn't give a shit. Bookies, see, that's the problem. See, in today's world, someone gets hurt, and everyone goes on Twitter and screams at sportsbooks to get their money back. Hey, Devin Booker got hurt. Give me my over back. You don't see the under people getting them. They're not complaining to get their money back. Anyway, so the game got canceled, and that's going to be that. Chiefs are going to get the number 1 seed because the guy's heart exploded. Now, here we are. Chiefs Raiders play Saturday night. Line is 9. Kansas City -9. Kansas City wins. They get the 1 seed now. So it's probably going to move up. But I think if Kansas City cares at all about DeMar Hamlin, then they'll lose this game. Let's see if they really care. Let's see where your thoughts and prayers are at. Let Buffalo get the 1 seed. They won't. They'll win this game. They'll get the 1 seed, and then they'll beat the Bills again at home. They won't do a neutral site game. They won't do any of that shit. Real quick, a comment. Bill Cruz says, you don't see non-vax people collapsing. Yeah, you do when they get COVID. An old-fashioned vax COVID joke. That would have been funny if I read that in the first segment. But anyway, back to Vegas. Kansas City. I like Vegas this week. We're going to take Vegas +9. One, because Kansas City can't. All right, Kansas City, you can win the game. I'm not saying you have to lose the game outright. Get your 1 seed. You got fortunate with the hand, but you can't rub it in. You can't show how happy you are and rout the Raiders because a man's heart exploded and got you to 1 seed. If you win by like 30 or something like that, Mahomes breaks the passing record, which he's like 450 away from or something, then that'd be obnoxious. I don't think Kansas City does that. Plus, I think the Raiders at home have been tough. Derek Carr left town last week. I mean, he left town. He's not on the bench. He is, I'm getting the fuck out of Vegas. This city will kill me. And Vegas had to go. Because you could also get hurt and off the field in Vegas. We'll owe you $40 million. No one is upset that Derek Carr is gone. He should have been benched, period. Except for his brother, David Carr and Bill Cowher, I guess. Talk about loyalty. He was loyal to the Raiders. David Carr, if you don't know, his brother was also correct. He was an NFL analyst like on NFL Network, and all he did was talk about. All he did was, I mean, I get it. He backs his brother because he's his brother, but I can't believe they even let him on the air with this shit. Who's this for? He's like, I'm going to air out some grievances. My brother, he said, I'm only going to play for the Raiders. That's all I want to play for. And this is what they do to all these coaches getting fired. Yeah, coaches are getting fired because you're terrible, Derek Carr. You played 9 years. You have 0 playoff wins. He said he always going to play for the Raiders. Great. Great way to manifest it. That's super. I said I'm going to go fucking 5-0. I'm going to go 25-0 the last 5. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. You can say whatever you want. That doesn't mean you deserve it. I was going to try to think of a dream. I don't even have a dream. I could say, like, people say, yeah, you can see, like in the 80s, you say, I'm going to date Claudia Schiffer. I don't even know what to fucking do with. Sounds like a hell. Sounds like a nightmare, actually. Dealing with them, bros. Anyway, he brought in his best friend. That was another thing he yelled. He brought in Devontae. He brought in his best friend. Okay. Yeah, he made the trade. They traded Khalil Mack. Why'd they trade Khalil Mack? Because you get paid $300 million. So he brought in his best friend, Devontae Adams, which he did. Then they go to Devontae Adams. Wednesday Adams, as I like to call him. And he's like, whoa, hey, I mean, we're buddies, you know. But yeah, we went to Fresno together. I mean, but, you know. When it comes to reasons why I went to Las Vegas, Derek Carr was very low on the list. He was right above Thunder from Down Under. Okay. Now I wanted to go to Vegas. That's what he had a press conference this week on Wednesday Adams. And he said, my dream is to be a Raider, not to be with Derek Carr. Sorry, who are you even talking about again? I mean, he's friends. I'm sorry. He said that. But do you want to be a Raider? He goes, yeah, absolutely. Love this new guy. What's his name? Jason Stidham? Stidham was alert. All he has to do is throw the ball. Jason Statham. So they got to find out if he's in the quarterback, which would be hilarious. This would be perfect for the Raiders. Jason Stidham, who had a great game last year. He's not even going to drop off of Derek Carr. We had the Niners last week, and we got burned by Stidham. Stidham looked awesome. He's going to do good again this week, and then they're going to keep him as their quarterback in the future and not take. No, they'll get Brady. They got to get Brady or Baker Mayfield. That'd be hilarious. Baker Mayfield. Is there ever a Raider disappointment? Baker should be a Raider, by the way. Anyway, doesn't matter. Or Brady. Brady in Vegas will be pretty interesting. Post-divorce, a year in Vegas, that'll do him right. Anyway, so Stidham's good. Getting 9 points at home. Yes, the Chiefs need to win, but they don't need to win too big because that'll not look good within the whole thoughts and prayers department. So let's send some thoughts and prayers to Las Vegas +9 covering our first bomb of the week on Saturday afternoon. That'll be a fun Saturday in Las Vegas. Go to that game and go out tonight. Fantastic. All right, let's move on to Atlanta, Tampa Bay is the next. That line is 4. Atlanta is favored by 4. Now you hear that line, you're like, why would Atlanta be favored by 4? Well, because this game doesn't mean anything for Tampa Bay, but does it? This is what I was talking about with Week 18. This is why Week 18 is my favorite week, and I'm kind of an expert in Week 18. Because there's motivations, and then there's like, but do they mean the motivation? Are they lying? Some coaches lie, like, because they're smart. Like the Eagles are playing the Giants this week. The game means nothing for the Giants. And DeBall, the Giants coach, says, yeah, maybe we'll play our players, knowing full well he's not going to play anybody. But he has to say it, and I get it. He has to say it because he's a smart man. It'd be so dumb to play his players. Now, Todd Bowles, on the other hand, not so bright. I believe him now when he comes out and goes, all right, so this game means nothing for you guys. Are you going to rest your players? Like, wow, why? Because they're going to get hurt? He's like, no, we're playing a place. You can get hurt week 1, week 3. What's the difference between week 18 or week 12? It's going to hurt. It's going to happen. So we signed up to play football. We're going to play football. These are his quotes. What? Yeah, you're right. It can happen in week 1, but it didn't. You know what? You know how it can't happen in week 8. You know how you get hurt playing in week 18? Yeah, for the playoffs. You know how you can get hurt playing football. Do not play football on week 18, and you won't get hurt. It is the most dangerous place on the planet for a football injury. It's more dangerous to play this game in Atlanta if you're Mike Evans than it is the war in Ukraine right now. Granted, it's more dangerous. You might die more. It's more fatal in Ukraine, in war itself. But as far as a football injury goes, the most dangerous places on a football field, playing football. That's where football injuries happen. Well, you can only say lines like that it's football's more dangerous than war on the bottom line bombs. Because can't get canceled yet. Thoughts and prayers to me if I get canceled. Bill Cruz says he's taking the over on thoughts. Not in the NFL. It's a lot more prayer. A lot more prayers with those people. So Todd Bowles I think he's going to play his players. Now, I believe Bowles, but I also don't know if Todd Bowles has control of the team like Tom Brady does. Tom Brady is the actual coach of that team. And he starts talking like they want to play because nothing's meaningless. He starts getting philosophical. What's meaning? Like, because all right, Tom, I know you're getting into fucking bullshit Aaron Rodgers territory. Because they say meaningless. What's meaningless even mean? I mean, we're out there. There's existence. Are you meaningless? Is this press conference? Yes, this is all meaningless. All your bullshit's meaningless. So there is something that Tampa, they do need. I mean, they're bad. Here's the thing. I don't know what the difference is between the Tampa Bay starters and the Tampa Bay bench at this point. But Tampa Bay finally had one good quarter versus Carolina last week. Everyone thinks they're going to be great again. But they need to get that momentum because they're a bad team. So I think they are going to play Falcons. And I mean, I just don't think Atlanta should be laying. I don't care who the fuck Atlanta's playing. They shouldn't be laying 4 at home. They're playing for what? Next year? Players don't care. That's another thing about momentum. Well, we're playing for momentum for next year. You think the Falcons players give a shit about next year's momentum? They're not even going to be there. You don't care. These owners don't guarantee anything. The coaches might not even be there. I mean, they want to play. I'm not saying they don't want to play and beat Tom Brady and all those guys, but what was the other thing I saw about Tom Brady? It was a weird thing. God damn, the press loves Tom Brady. Prayers -3, says Eric Turman. That's a big. I'll lay the wood with prayers -3 if that's the line. That's the other thing with Damar Hamlin, his charity, toy drive charity, GoFundMe thing. It went from 2,500 to like 6 million or something. And I saw a headline: Tom Brady gives huge donation, which good for him. I'm obviously not criticizing that. I looked up the article. It was 10,000, which is great, fantastic. Then they listed other celebrities and players, and they all had ones even bigger than his. But Tom Brady said, "It's a massive Tom Brady headline." First of all, and also, I have to critique this. Can we spread this charity? I hope this money's going to his rehab. The Hamlin's like, I mean, I get it. The toy drive's nice, but do these kids in McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, need $6 million worth of toys? Fuck those kids. All of a sudden, they get a $6 million Christmas. Fucking virtual reality box. Next thing they're going to buy him a snowplow with Jeremy Renner. Come on. Anyway, I hope that $6 million goes to Hamlin's rehabilitation coming back from his heart attack, who is doing well, and because the NFL's not going to flip the bill. They don't give a shit. Anyway, so we're going to take Tampa Bay plus the 4 because Todd Bowles doesn't understand how playing football can get you hurt. I mean, he does, but yeah, detonate it. Remember Belichick? Belichick did that once. He played he got Wes Welker hurt in the meaningless last week's game. And we're saying, well, it could have happened week 1. Yeah, it could have. Right, but it didn't. It can only happen now if you play him. It's not going to happen sitting at home. Anyway, no second ad read, but I will take this time to plug the merch store at Sports Gambling Podcast Network, the SGPN merch store. Go to it because there's brand new merch. Brand new this week for the Bottom Line Bombs for your boy. You can buy T-shirts and hoodies so far. I'm going to add to the roster of merchandise, but you can get a Man in a Box shirt, which is pretty dope if you ask me. It's my face in a box. It says Man in a Box. And there's the Bottom Line Bombs with the logo by Blue Steel, who made that. Also a great shirt. I want to think of another one where it's just a funny joke or a line from a show. So if you have any favorite best jokes, maybe thoughts or prayers, and then the logo on the back, I don't know. And coffee mugs and whatnot. And, we'll see. Well, I want to get more creative with the merch than just shirts. Although I think me wearing a shirt of me would be peak fucking absurd. Oh, the box be in my belly. All right, let's move on. What do we get into? Oh, we're at 30 minutes. 32 minutes. We're halfway through. Also, welcome everyone here still. So far we've done Las Vegas +9 and Tampa Bay +4. I originally liked Atlanta, but I don't know. I just couldn't do it. And you know what? The last week, I'm gonna hit some old favorites. Why get off now? Speaking of which, we have Dallas, Washington rivalry game. Line at 7. I wanted to get to 7.5. We're going to take Washington plus the 7. This is another motivational game as well. And the coaches, and you got to get fun. Now, Matt McCarthy, I don't think he's a great coach, but he's a sensible man. He knows once this game means nothing to pull his players. He's not dumb. In Dallas, this game only matters if the Eagles lose to the Giants, which they're not going to do. They should be up big because the Giants are going to play anyway. But once the Eagles are up big at halftime, whatever, they should pull. Because first of all, it's impossible not to check the scores. So the NFL did a couple games same time, so they wouldn't know. But how do you not going to know the score of another game in this world? Everyone in this stadium knows the score. They have personal computers and cameras on them. If I was Washington, I'd play the game on the jumbotron. Play the score. Make up a score. Who cares even if the Eagles are losing? If I was Washington, I'd lie and say they're crushing the Giants. Dallas, sit everyone. Sit Dak, sit Zeke, sit them all. You trust me, you don't want to know. The Eagles are winning. Yep, don't look into it. Don't look at your phones. We got it right here in the jumbotron. I'd simulate a game. I'd play I'd play the Eagles Giants game from a couple weeks ago. When the Eagles killed them by 40 to see if fucking Dallas even realized it. Oh, no, scores right there. That'd be fun. Washington, though, the reason why the line's 7 is because they benched Carson Wentz again. Again. God, people love benching Carson Wentz. He's that girlfriend you just keep dumping and bringing them back, bringing her back, bringing them all back. Him, her, whatever. Whatever your preference is. Wentz just loves getting dumped. People love dumping Carson Wentz. I think people sign Carson Wentz just so they can dump him and bench him. They love the feeling. Wentz, get in there. Wentz, get the fuck out of there. What was I thinking, Wentz? They brought him back for one game, and they were disgusted immediately. God damn it. You can't even beat the Browns. Get the hell out of here. What was I thinking? Carson Wentz is benched 3 separate times this year. Oh, God. Snyder Vision, Bill Cruz says, yeah, watch out with hidden cameras in Washington. Don't they peek at cheerleaders like Porkies and some shit? So they got to go with Sam Howell. Ron Rivera was asked last week after the game, after they lost to the Browns. Carson Wentz like, "Hey, are you guys going to think about playing Sam Howell if you guys are eliminated?" And Ron Rivera had no idea that they could be eliminated or they were eliminated. He's like, "Oh, we can be eliminated? Really?" Like, like it was a genuine, like horrible poker face. Yeah, the Packers win, you're out. Huh? Did not know that. Should have looked at some probabilities. I have a Ron Rivera soundbite somewhere. I thought. I used to.
I want a dick rubbed on me tonight.
That was Ryan Loves Dick, not the Ron Rivera soundbite. I might play that again now. Actually, I should play a lot of these. These are fun. Forget just the bombs. Why am I not doing that? Bill Cruz likes that soundbite, that's for sure. The Snyder Vision. Ron Rivera. And it was so funny when he said that, it was completely believable. You're like, oh yeah, you don't know. The Evan report's like, oh, you don't know that you can be eliminated, do you? No, I don't. Whoa, is that interesting or not? As soon as I played that, accidentally played the Ryan Loves Dick soundbite one more time for you guys, for the listeners at home.
I want a dick rubbed on me tonight.
I got some spam in the comments. Girls XYZ says, find love on the new dating site. Thanks for joining the show, Girls XYZ. Girls for XYZ. I was told these spam porn bots, whatever, when they're thinking to your show, that means it's a good sign for your show. That means there's some eyeballs on this, and they know they want in on it. So anyone in the comments, if you want to click on Girls XYZ, go ahead. For hot singles in your area, like I said, at this point in my life, I'm more interested in hot Pringles in my area. Okay. Anyway, back to the game. We're going to take Washington +7. Hopefully, they'll put a fake Eagles-Giants game on the Jumbotron on Snyder Vision. Cowboys might be fooled by that, win or lose, and then they'll shut down shop. So getting 7 with a game the Cowboys probably won't care about come second half. Let's bomb it. Washington +7. An unprofessional drink of iced coffee from Starbucks without the sugary. Steele, if you want to send out some super coffee to us, we're all aboard here in SGP. Maybe we should hook up, get you as I'd like to do some super coffee ad reads. As long as they're part of a sports book. Bill Cruz says pass. Pass on what? The ladies? I know what you're not passing on. The Brian Loves Dick. But speaking of Bill Cruz, I know he's a Denver Bronco fan, famously in the Chicago area. Brought his orange pom-poms. He's very enthusiastic. Tough year for the Broncos. And they are playing, and Russell Wilson just horrendous. They fired a coach already, Hackett. Russ, cornball Russ all year. Like I said, I think he's part of a cult. And not that sexy robe cult, the old-fashioned drug cult where they give you, some punch and you kill yourself kind of cult. He's in a weird cult. He has that look in his eyes, and he's just like, he can't be this corny. The whole Bronco Nation, let's ride. Which I do like those Bronco fans who put bags over their heads and said, Bronco Nation, let's hide. Pretty good. Yeah, they need a new head coach. Bill Cruz wants Condi Rice. Talks of Jim Harbaugh coming over to Jim Harbaugh would be perfect for Denver. He can handle Russ Wilson because Russ Wilson and Jim Harbaugh are similar, where they have this image. It's very Trump-esque. Sean Flannery pointed out to me. It's very Trump-esque where he's very bravado and he's a tough guy and all this stuff. And then when it comes down to it, it's complete failure. Like Jim Harbaugh, he's this alpha tough guy, coming through with the military troops. And then every time they get to the bowl, they shit the bed and freak out and just spaz. They lost to TCU. They're throwing double reverse Philly specials from the goal line. What are you doing? You're Michigan. Just run the fucking ball. Run the fucking ball. So Jim Harbaugh would be hilarious. Bring those khakis to Colorado, I'd say. I just can't quit this Russ Wilson team. We're going to take the Broncos. Because I tell you why, this is another storyline with a smart coach and motivation. Now, the Chargers, who are there playing or in the playoffs, they do want to win. There's a chance they would want to win the game because they want to keep the seed they're at. The seed they're at right now is like 5, and they want to play the 4 seed, which will be Jacksonville or Tennessee. Most likely Jacksonville. Although I can see Jacksonville fucking choking somehow. Even though I like Jacksonville. I love Doug Peterson. I got a nice ticket on him to win Coach of the Year, which I don't think is going to happen. It's alive at least. And I have Jacksonville to win the Super Bowl at 100-1. Also not going to happen, but it's fun. Anyway, Chargers want to play Jacksonville. So in order to do that, they have to have the 5 seed, which they're at right now. The only way that can be overtaken is if Baltimore, who's a 6 seed, beats the Bengals. And Baltimore is playing, which they won't. Baltimore's playing the Bengals at noon or 1 o'clock Eastern, whatever. And then the Bronco game is the 4 o'clock game. The NFL, instead of the NFL playing that at the same time, it's so simple. Just play these games the same. Games where teams need the other one to win or lose, play at the same time. Like the World Cup. World Cup did that. You notice when those qualifying, well, whatever. When the World Cup got later on in the last round, they played the games at the same time because the results based on the other one. That's actually because in the 80s, I think it was like Germany and whoever. They both needed a tie and they advanced, so they just kicked the ball to each other for 2 hours. They called it a disgrace. Hilarious. Like, all right, we got to play this at the same time. Anyway, so the Chargers are going to find out. Once they find out granted, if this doesn't happen, we're in trouble. Because if the Ravens win, then the Chargers are going to fucking destroy Denver. Because Denver's hurt. Actually, Denver's been playing kind of good. And Denver's corny enough that they'll want to put on a game for their fans at home. Russell want to put on a final game. Except for that debacle on Christmas. They've actually been playing decent. They almost beat Kansas City twice. And they beat, who did they beat on Arizona? Whatever. But anyway, Staley is a smart coach. He's also a bad coach with his a lot of things. You say what you want about him. Say what you want about these non-football playing coaches that you've never heard of, like your McDaniels down in Miami, Staley here in Chargers, and basically anyone who had a cup of coffee with Sean McDermott or McVay. Not McDermott. McDermott was one. Anyone had a cup of coffee with McVay with the Rams got a coaching job. His tree. All these guys, they're not dumb people. They're smart. So they know about, they're not going to say things like, well, you can get hurt any week. No, they said it. Yeah, if Baltimore loses, we're not playing anybody. Staley said it but we have to prepare like we're going to play the game, and we get new information on the ground. Everything's going to be military. Yeah, we'll be watching. I just like him say that immediately. Yeah, we'll be watching. We might not even come out and play the game. We'd rather sit inside the locker and watch the game, watch the Ravens. Watch the Bengals have a Joe Burrow jersey. They need the Bengals to win. We all do. I thought speaking of the people who are like, speaking of, like when I say speaking of, and it's only me speaking. The gamblers who were upset about the Bills-Bengals game being canceled. And I have a ticket. I have a Bengals ticket. But look, come on. Man. Although I parlayed the Bengals to win with the Patriots to win this week, money line. It plays like 8-1 or something fun. Because if the Bengals beat the Bills last week, then the Bills wouldn't have to win it. The Bills would have no motivation to play this week. So that was the thinking there. And the Patriots need to win to get in. Now, I think after the guy's heart exploded, the Bills might just beat the Patriots out of pride and tribute to him. So we all got screwed in this situation, is what I'm trying to say. Where was I? Oh yeah, Denver Broncos. I officially quit these Broncos. I can't quit them. Speaking of Bill Cruz, broke back. I just can't quit these Broncos. I don't know why. They're just so fun. They're just so ridiculous. I am these Broncos. You just when I think I want to come back, I lose by 50 points. But we're going to do it because I trust the Chargers to quit. And that's what we're doing here. The Broncos can beat no opponent. If you put no opponent in front of them, I trust Russell Wilson can beat them. And Staley and these Chargers will not come out to the field. So Jim Harbaugh, get ready for your new cook. Russell Wilson, Denver, -3. As this line has switched from +3 to -3. Let's bomb it. Detonate it. Denver, -3. Okay. Oh, boy, we're getting late into the game. Late into the game. Real quick, we've had 4 bombs so far. We've had Vegas +9. It'll to Tampa Bay +4. Washington +7. Denver -3, our first favorite. And now we're going to go to our last bomb. Green Bay, Detroit. Sunday night game. Win and you get in. Jake Packran, who is our merchandise man, who also made these merchandise stores, says he'd argue that Mother Nature alone could beat Russ. Well, Mother Nature would be getting 2 points, correct? That's what that would be funny if it's just Russ versus the weather. No opponent, no football players throwing into that win. I don't know. We're gonna have to go for it. But anyway, we'll go Packers, Detroit. The Sunday night, the NFL schedule. This is where you can tell when people were you didn't think the NFL cared about their teams and quality opponents with the Damar Hamlin situation. They don't. You could have told right away by putting the Packers Lions on Sunday night instead of Jacksonville, Tennessee. See, Jacksonville, Tennessee is literally win and get in. You know, whoever wins, you're in. Loser, you're out. Although there's complicated situations where Tennessee could also think it's or Jacksonville, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not going to happen. But they just want Aaron Rodgers on TV. So Aaron Rodgers at night, Lambeau. The reason why it's dumb is because Detroit is going to find out once Seattle beats the Rams that their season's over. And that game means absolutely nothing to them. Hopefully the Rams will do it. Maybe the NFL will step in and just let Baker beat Geno Smith. I don't know. Because that'll be fun. If it's Packers, Detroit, win or get in, that's fun. But it won't be. God, they do not care. But why we're going to be on Detroit, the line is 4.5, is because Dan Campbell, like we said, we have to get into the coach's mindsets. Should Detroit shut people down and not care? Yes. Will he? No. Because they're just happy to be on TV. Detroit can't believe they're on TV. And I get it. This is when I know real quick as I go through the commenters. I'm getting text messages. This is when you know you have I am Detroit now. I'm happy to be on TV. This is when you know my show, the Bottom Line Bomb, CJ Sullivan, is on a huge platform because in the live comments is a producer from the other side of the wall who's asking me if I want a Cuban sandwich for lunch. Sure, Ryan Kramer. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for coming into the show to ask me that. I'm just kidding. I love it. Yes. The answer is yes, if you can hear me out there, if it's being broadcast. So Dan Campbell, he's very excited. He said, it's us or nobody. We're 8-8. We want to be a winner. This doesn't get any better than this. And then, I mean, I don't know if I'm taking the lines because I want them to win, just because I want this whole Packer thing of them making a run. Aaron Rodgers, there's nothing worse than smug Aaron Rodgers. They've had this ridiculous stretch now where the defense has played great. They've also beaten the Bears and these terrible teams. Yes, they smoked the Vikings last week, but the Vikings are a fraud. We know that. He's like, well, I've been the guy that's he's like, I've been the guy that's kept things on even keel. When the young kids didn't know what was going on, I was like, everything's gonna be all right. Now we played meaningful games in December. Fuck you. You're like 4-8. And now they're 8-8. Good for you, Aaron Rodgers. And he's like, well, then we're gonna go to playoffs, and what are they gonna say then? We're gonna say you're gonna get destroyed by San Francisco. That's what we're gonna say. But he had a vision. Took some ayahuasca and he had a vision that, wow, we have an easy schedule coming up and the NFC's terrible. We can sneak in to get 7 teams in the playoffs. We can do it. And they can. Now, normally I'd like to fade Jared Goff in bad weather. Obviously. But I just think Dan Campbell might suit up himself. He might be the only one that actually cares about this. But like I said, they rally behind him. They love him. He quotes Metallica, bad Metallica too, like the St. Agnes Metallica or whatever. Or that weird thing they did with what was that compilation they did? But anyway, says Green Bay, Detroit, the NFL schedule, don't care. Aaron Rodgers at night. Nothing would be funnier than the NFL forcing Aaron Rodgers, Lambeau Field at night, home game. You just expect it to happen because you just expect it to happen for them to fall flat in their face. And they have to give us Seattle. That'd be even funnier. Seattle wins, beats the Rams, then Detroit beats Green Bay, and then they get Geno Smith. How about that? How about that? You like that? Kirk Cousins? Speaking of bad quarterbacks in bad weather. That almost made my sheet. The Vikings laying 7.5 on the road. But anyway, we're gonna go with Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, plus 4.5. Bomb it. All right. Hold on. No, I'm gonna text back my producer. I want to text back my producer. Yes. I love that he put it in the comments. So funny. Anyway, let's get into it. Thank you everybody for coming in here, including Ryan Kramer, Bill Cruz, Jake Packer, Porn Girls, Kyle Bolin, Eric Turman. Let's get to the box. Here we are, the man in the box. That's how I started it off with. As we end the show, like I said, this is the last week of the regular season. Thank you for coming along for the season ride. There will be more bombs in the playoffs. I'll be with you all playoffs, and then we're going to do some fun things after the football season here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. For some reason, they want more of me, and we'll give you more. Yeah, it'll be fun. It started off with Survivor and contest picks. Survivor, of course, we lost week 1 with a lot of people. There's 3 people left in that Circa Survivor contest vying for $6 million. We went over to Bad Beat the guy had last couple weeks ago where he had, if Pittsburgh would have lost to the Raiders, if Derek Carr just would have got a first down, he would have won $6 million. Then he lost the next morning to those luck box Packers in Miami. So now there's 3 people left. And there's talks of a chop. $6 million. What would you do, folks? $6 million, 3 of them, so it'll be $2 million each. In order to execute the chop, as far as taxes and all go, all 3 of them would just have to agree not to enter a selection. And then that way they'd all lose at the same time and they'd chop the $6 million. That's a lot of trust. That's like in grade school, whatever. When the student election, people, how about I vote for you? You vote for me. And you always knew that fucking shisty little rat. Elliot did that to me. I'm like, no, you're not going to vote for me. He's a liar. I don't want to vote for myself. So you vote for me and I'll vote for you. Then they con you. Little con artists. Anyway, that's a lot of trust. All right. No one's going to make a pick, right? You got to follow them through downtown Vegas as they text. So I'll do it. Good luck to those 3. I hope they chop. Or I hope that one wins. That'd be brutal, though. Get to the last week and then get nothing. There's hedging opportunities and all that, but whatever. Let's get to the man in the box. Happy New Year, everyone. Last week I ranted about New Year's Eve. Ranted. All these rants in a box. Rants in a box is good. A lot of people making New Year's resolutions. That's what a lot of people think. Thoughts and prayers for the chop, says Bill Cruz. I don't mind the New Year's resolutions. People complain. I don't want people complain about other people's New Year's resolutions. People, first of all, stop asking. They're like asking people. Then you gotta talk about your personal vices. What's your New Year's resolution? Mine personally is I'm giving up whipped cream. Really? You're giving whipped cream? Yeah. Well, I just take it from the can because I was a fucking addict, and it reminded me of Whippets. Oh, that's weird. Yep, sure is. Why? Thanks for having me tell you the story. Anyway, let's get a drink. Then you have the classic bit of people making fun of new people going to the gym in January, you know. I like that resolution. We all have that same resolution where we mock other people's self-improvement attempts at it, at least. What are you attempting to improve yourself? You idiot. You're just like everyone else. You're going to fail. Thanks. It's a great resolution you have. Although I get it. Dry January is a big one. I like that as a resolution because a lot of people like to go sober, but they don't like to go I'm not going to go sober for the whole year. So let's see if I can do a dry January. Sober curious. Which is tough. If you start negotiating, and this is a man, I've been sober for alcohol. I have to preface that. About 2.5 years now. I mean, I still do every drug that comes in front of my face. I'm not a nerd about this thing. I'm on the Demi Lovato plan, as I like to say, you know. Still tough, but you know how long it takes these pills to kick in without vodka, but that's the discipline you gotta have. You want to be the man in the box. Anyway, so yeah, people like to go dry January and brag about that. If you start, I'll give you a little hint. If you start negotiating, well, then I got the playoffs next week. I got to drink for that. And you start making up all these dates. Yeah, then there's MLK Day. I got to get fucked up for that. Then there's a Division I AA game. That'll be hammered. Montana, are you kidding me? So you're not going to do well. I love that whole just sober curious. What a slap in the face for alcoholics being a disease, like an alcoholism being a disease. That you can just like play around and have a month dedicated to the medicine of a disease. Yeah, I'm chemo curious. What do you got? What do you got? Cancer over there? Let me try that for a little bit. Let me get a little radiation, like you're getting a tan in a tanning booth. Why don't you burn my hair off? I'm just curious how chemo works. I saw you doing it every day and every week. I mean, for a year now, for a couple years to live. I was wondering if I could, just see how it is. I might go dry January. I'll go. Oh, so you're going to be not doing so? No, I'm still going to go to the dispensary. I'm going to get a lot of weed, get fucked up. I just don't want the same hangovers. I want to make a few more flights. That's about it. That is the thing, by the way. I did do edibles and weed, not as much as anymore. But I went for New Year's. I went to the dispensary, and I kind of miss when weed was illegal. I don't like weed being legal. I don't like weed being legal. I just hate going to dispensaries. It's like an Apple store for fucking pot. But they're all I get. They're all in the weed culture. There's like 30 when they surround you and they talk about weed. I don't want to talk about weed. I don't want to talk about strains and all this shit. Give me a couple of these cans and fucking gummies and get me the hell out of here. And also, I get you need people that like are the vibe, like at a record store or something. But like, can weed dispensaries, at least here in LA, can we get someone, well, just one person that's worked a job before, or at least seen a cash register? I don't care if it's been a fake cash register at a play. Someone that can operate this thing. I was in there. It took them like 20 minutes to scan $80 worth of edibles. And they went through 3 people. One guy, he's got face tattoos. He couldn't do it. This girl, God bless her, she had a meltdown just trying to scan 2 Camino tins of gummies. It's like, it's gone. It's from the inventory. Then she goes, I can't right now. And I'm not lying. She just walked off into the corner and just stared at the corner. Like a kid in trouble in like grade school. Just stared into the corner of a wall of a store that she's working at. Then the guy comes out in the back who didn't have face tattoos. He must have been the manager. He's calming her down. Hold on, let's see if we can do it. He's scanning for fucking. He finally got it going. Oh my God. I get it. Meanwhile, they're bringing in the dogs or the whole. Lord. Oh boy, that was my man in the box rant about dispensaries. We got to go. I don't know what else is there to talk about. Well, we can talk about a few things. Why did I bring up Jeremy Renner? Jeremy Renner was for the other toys. Hope you get better, Jeremy Renner and Damar Hamlin. People like making fun of Jeremy Renner just because it's a rich man toy. But it's a fucking snowplow. The Pister Boy. Rich man's toy. He's a sheriff in Tahoe. Rich celebrities are hilarious. Anyway, R.I.P. Dave and Buster. Buster from Dave and Buster's. Suicide, 72. It's always weird when old people kill themselves. Like, you made it this far. Why now, Buster? My thing always with Dave and Buster was I bet Dave wanted the restaurant and Buster wanted the arcade, if I was to guess. The Dave and Buster's routine. But anyway, R.I.P. to Dave and to Buster. Shouldn't be laughing. But I laugh out of it's a defense mechanism. Anyway, thank you for this week 18 Bottom Line Bombs and the Man in the Box on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Make sure to listen to my other podcast, Blackout Diaries with Sean Flannery, who I mentioned a couple times on the show. Drinking storytelling show. I know I don't drink, but the stories are real and the deal. Very funny show. Follow me on Instagram. CJ Sullivan was taken. I believe there's underscores in there. CJ _ Sullivan _ was _ taken, I think. And my Twitter at CJ Sullivan _ A lot of underscores. I don't know what the underscores. Some other dude has CJ Sullivan. He doesn't even use it anymore. I should buy it off him, but then like, what am I doing? Buy it. Well, who gives a shit about any of this? But that's why I'm here. That's why I'm having my producer ask me what I want for lunch in the comments. That's what my life is. I don't mind it. God has a plan. Thoughts and prayers for week 18. Let's go 5-0. Play that techno music and good night.